Hello there, my name's Card. I'm a long-time progressive community organiser and activist. And for a little while now, I've been making these videos I'm interested in here on YouTube as a hobby. Something in particular I've been doing on here is making a whole series of videos, each only a few minutes long, where I explain the meaning behind all sorts of different reactionary dog whistles. If you don't know, dog whistles are the words, phrases, and symbols used by people, like those in the far right, to covertly signal their beliefs to one another without other people finding out. Personally, I think it was a good idea to start making these videos about different dog whistles and what they mean and how to spot them. Incidentally, I'll also link the playlist of them at the top of the description if you want to look through them yourself. But the thing to take away here is online far right-wing people use a lot of different slang terms and emojis with secret meanings they've made up, and I've been talking about them recently. Now, the reason I'm making this video is that I found out about 24 hours ago that a self-described leftist variety streamer called Alec Gunter uploaded a video on his channel wherein he shares his thoughts about one of the more popular dog whistles videos of mine. In his video, Gunter is of the opinion that I'm wrong about the prominent use of a particular dog whistle among online reactionaries, and that I'm wrong to suggest that progressives should keep an eye out for these sorts of things. Today, I'd just like to simply respond to Alec Gunter, and in doing so, make two main points. One, that he's wrong on the specific issue my original video was about, that he contends with, and two, more importantly, the broader attitude Gunter has here is way off. I'll get to exactly what I mean by that in a moment, but first things first, what the surface level disagreement between him and me is. He thinks I'm very wrong about how online reactionaries use the word fren, spelt F-R-E-N, and what it means. In my original video, I briefly explained that in recent years, fren has become a word that a lot of alt-right guys use to surreptitiously make jokes with one another. They use it in memes, along with their other iconography, to signal their beliefs to one another on online platforms where they can't be as openly alt-right as they want to be. The fact that it sounds really dumb, and that other people might use it innocently, is the point. That way they've got at least a little plausible deniability if someone calls them out. Alec Gunter apparently does not understand this. And let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he isn't just knowingly trying to obfuscate how the word is being used by a lot of people. In his video, Gunter watches my explanation of the fren dog whistle, and he essentially just continuously throws up his hands and says that he, for one, has never seen it used that way, so he thinks what I've said is wrong. I'll also link Gunter's video in the description for the sake of transparency, but here's the gist of what he says as he's watching it.
Is it that bad? I've only ever seen people use it like funny. You know what I mean? Like a meme. Here, let's do a quick experiment. The whole reason I'm watching this is because I think it's silly. It is that bad? No, it's not. I just don't see it being used in a bad way, from what I can tell. You would be hard-pressed to convince me that that's how it originally started. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. I don't know. Like, okay, I could be wrong, but it seems very silly. Oh, I saw you say friends on Twitter the other day when talking about your stuffed animals. Hello, white nationalist. Fellow white nationalist, how do you do? Like, what? It doesn't work.
Alec tries to argue that fren isn't used as a dog whistle, and that I'm wrong to say that it is. That's the whole reason, ostensibly, this video of his exists. My original video was only 4 minutes long, but somehow, Alec manages to go nuh-uh enough to stretch it out into 14 minutes and some change. So, I'm going to try and keep my rebuttal simple here. Alec is absolutely wrong when he insists fren isn't being used as a dog whistle. And if Alec had a modicum of sense, he could have used the computer in front of him to Google the word and educate himself. Among the first results would be this Wiktionary page explaining the word's meaning and how it's used as a dog whistle, numerous Reddit posts explaining the same thing from around the time the admins over there started cracking down on this sort of thing. I found this reporting from the ADL about a very popular alt-right Substack page called Pepe's Friend Zone, as well as entries on both Know Your Meme and Rational Wiki for what those are worth. He could also have just searched the word "fren" on Twitter, where, as you might expect, practically every result is of an alt-right account posting it alongside their frog memes. Also, searching an archive of the poll 4chan board for the word turned up over 514,000 results from just the past year. Alec, it is a term the alt-right use. And when people who know more about these things are trying to tell you about them, you should listen like an adult rather than sit there refusing to understand and trying to make an argument out of it. That brings me to the other thing that I wanted to discuss today. Gunter fundamentally does not understand what keeping an eye out for dog whistles, online or elsewhere, actually entails, or why you should do it. Towards the end of his video, Alec uses some particularly pointed language to say that it's wrong of me to be able to spot these sorts of things whenever they're present. I also think he genuinely does not understand the point of dog whistles in general. It's not that they are intrinsically offensive in the same way a slur is, it's that they serve to hide someone's actual beliefs. Anyway, here's another clip.
If this guy is unironically looking for dog whistles this hard, he doesn't strike me as somebody that I particularly want to hang out around, because I feel like I'd be walking on eggshells the entire time. You know what I mean? I don't want to coalition build with this asshole because he's probably, like, I don't know for sure, but based on this video, the impression I'm getting is that this guy cannot take a punch, metaphorically, okay? Like, he just can't. If you don't speak exactly the way that he wants you to, then he will not allow you to be around him. You know what I mean? Or like he'll correct you or something. Like it seems weird. Gives the bad vibes. You could misspell friend once and get permit. Yeah. Don't be like this guy. Don't make people around you walk on eggshells. If you're telling your friends unironically that, like, hey, sweaty, using the term friends is actually a big no-no around me, and it's going to trigger me, and because I saw this card posting video that said, no, don't want anything to do with you. I have no time.
Funnily enough, Gunter's whole video comes across almost exactly like how a reactionary would try to discredit someone trying to bring attention to right-wing dog whistles. What with acting like a concept can't be real because he doesn't understand it, and needlessly calling someone he disagrees with an asshole, right down to the way he chose to make his video's thumbnail an unflattering screenshot of me mid-sentence surrounded by some all-caps text missing the point entirely. But I am glad he made the remarks that I look like I couldn't take a metaphorical punch, and that you wouldn't want to build a coalition with me. It gives me an opportunity to say, firstly, I hear far worse things from plenty of people every day, and it rolls off me like water off a duck's back. And I'm certainly not afraid to stand by my convictions and tell you that what you've said is absolutely moronic. Furthermore, you aren't going to build coalitions with anyone. Streaming is not engaging in mass politics. In fact, virtually nothing that happens online is. If you were in so much as a fortnightly tenants union meeting, or were sitting in on the planning committee of your local pride parade, and you couldn't go 10 minutes without calling people you disagree with assholes like that, you would be firmly told to leave. You are not a political organizer, you are some schlub who aspires to a career in online media. And frankly, I don't think particularly highly of anyone whose entire sense of politics is just finding people online to try and antagonize. It's not an attitude that conveys serious about trying to work together towards a common cause. Not to mention all the catty little remarks about me you make sure to pepper throughout your piece.
I wish he would back away from the camera just a little bit, or like put something in the background, you know what I mean? Like right now, it looks like he's about to, pull out some power tools and experiment on my body, It does seem like he's kind of staring into my soul, It's too liberal for me. It's too libby. Gross.
Alec, I appreciate that you think it's good to be able to take those metaphorical punches. So, real talk here. You shouldn't be commenting on how anyone else's video background looks or calling them fragile lefty stereotypes. Your setup looks like this. Between the hipster beard and the flannel shirt and the slack jaw and the glasses and the pink lighting and the gamer chair and the fact you call yourself a leftist variety streamer, if you were more familiar with reactionary online terminology, you might know this all forms an archetype that a lot of people call the soy new male bug man. Thankfully, though, you're pretty ignorant about this kind of stuff, so you won't know it's meant to be derogatory. But if you, Alec, or anyone else watching this, would like to learn about all sorts of dog whistles and how to spot them, I've got just the playlist of videos for you at the top of the description. There's all sorts of newer, obscure stuff in there that I'm sure you don't already know about, like the clapperboard emoji, or why racists like to joke about people not having had breakfast yesterday. But, putting all this dog whistle stuff aside, so I can make some final, more general points here to close, videos like this one of Mr. Gunter's are some of the worst stuff in the political section of this website. It's such low-effort crap made by saying the most inane things day in, day out. And about topics you can't even be bothered to Google, clearly, just for the sake of trying to wring out a few pennies from YouTube ads or the occasional parasocial rube subscriber. Alec, maybe you should take a step back from the streaming for a bit. I obviously think it's okay to want to make low-budget videos about things you're interested in, but you should try making something that you can be proud of. Not this slapdash nonsense watching other people's videos and being wrong about them every day. Do we really need another one of these dime-a-dozen wannabe Vouch clones? Surely the one is already more than plenty. What meaningful content do you want to bring to the platform? As for me, obviously I didn't expect to need to make this video, especially not on such short notice. Other than that, I have some more stuff that I want to film and release probably around early March, and that does include many more videos about dog whistles. All that said, if you're a viewer of mine who's stuck with me so far, until then, bye for now, see you later, and stay safe out there.